So there was a study comparing the abdominal drawing in maneuver against a max abdominal contraction for which one recruited the abdominal muscles better. And to no surprise, the abdominal drawing in maneuver was pretty subpar when it came to abdominal muscle recruitment. Now let's take a look at what they were doing for that max abdominal recruitment exercise so that you can implement that in your ab routine when you are giving out abdominal exercises to others. So grab something to squeeze between your knees. You want to think about something fairly narrow, and it tells us a story about your pelvis if you are uncomfortable squeezing something narrow and you need to squeeze something wide. Now, what would be uncomfortable would be TFLs kicking in, so feeling anything other than complete squishiness in the front of these hip pockets. So you want to be able to squeeze nice and narrow without anything kicking in here. So soft and squishy in the front, feeling those big adductor muscles kicking in. You should be able to see them, you should be able to feel them. So getting big adductor contraction here. So you want to squeeze kind of as hard as you can for this. So it's like thinking max abdominal contraction, max adductor contraction. And as you start to squeeze, you should go ahead and start to feel some, so relax your adductors and don't squeeze. Feel your tension and then squeeze and see if you can feel how you're starting to get a little bit of recruitment here just naturally without even contracting your abdominal wall. And then they layered on exhaling really hard. So what they did for their max abdominal contraction is squeeze those adductors while exhaling really hard. And this showed great recruitment for the abdominal muscles. And now I want to add one more spin from a very old study. Well, I say very old, but it's not actually that old. I just am starting to feel old. But from an older study that showed balloons, forced expiration was the most effective for getting those transverse abdominal muscles to show up first. And so if you want to add yet another great layer to this exercise, squeeze those adductors. And blow up that balloon, because then, excuse me, then you are getting maxing out everything we can from all of those angles while just lying on the floor. So give that a try. See if you can feel how your adductors squeezing in help recruit those lower abs and how the balloon helps bring in those upper abs. And the thing I do want you to be mindful of is as you blow air in the balloon, I want you to make sure that lower abs don't bulge out, okay? So that will be telling you have very poor pressure management. This is something to look out for on your clients. You want to make sure that they are not, as they blow into the balloon, you don't see their lower belly rise, okay? So a rising of that lower belly means, ooh, that's a lot of pressure down. We need to backtrack it. They are not strong enough to handle the balloon yet. The other thing that you want to consider is the first time you put air in a balloon, it is very challenging. But once that balloon is warmed up, then it's not nearly as challenging. So a lot of people have trouble getting that initial air into the balloon, especially if they're kind of new to forced expiration abdominal work. And so what you might want to do is send a balloon home with them, say, here you go, let your significant other blow this up for the first time for you, especially if they're dealing with pressure issues and they want to be cautious so they can get somebody else that they don't mind sharing germs with to blow the balloon up first, and then they can use it after that. So that can be a little trick for helping to kind of ease that transition with people, because that first blow of the balloon is the most challenging. All right, so give that a try for maxing out abdominal contractions.